Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started. Good luck. Why would you use Amazon VPC's peering connections to establish communication between VPCs? To encrypt all traffic between VPCs. To allow instances in separate VPCs to communicate using private IP addresses. To increase storage capacity within the VPC. To improve network speed for data transfers. Using Amazon VPC's peering connections allows instances in separate VPCs to communicate with each other using private IP addresses, enabling seamless connectivity and resource sharing while maintaining network isolation and security between the VPCs. What does the term CIDR stand for in the context of Amazon VPC? Customer Integrated Data Repository. Connection Identifier. Classless interdomain routing. Cloud Instance Delivery Ratio. CIDR is a method for allocating IP addresses and routing Internet Protocol packets. Why would you create a VPC flow log in Amazon VPC? To manage access control policies. To store large amounts of data. To increase write throughput. To capture information about IP traffic going to and from network interfaces. VPC flow logs in Amazon VPC allow you to capture information about the IP traffic going to and from network interfaces in your VPC, providing visibility into network traffic for monitoring and troubleshooting. How does Amazon VPC flow logs help with network monitoring? By automatically blocking malicious traffic. By increasing the network bandwidth for better performance. By encrypting all network traffic within the VPC. By capturing information about IP traffic going to and from network interfaces in a VPC. Amazon VPC flow logs help with network monitoring by capturing information about IP traffic going to and from network interfaces in a VPC, providing visibility into network traffic patterns and aiding in troubleshooting and security analysis. What is the function of a VPC peering connection in Amazon VPC? Connects two VPCs to enable instances in one VPC to communicate with instances in the other VPC using private IP addresses. Encrypts data in transit between VPCs. Allows you to configure dedicated network bandwidth between VPCs. Routes traffic between a VPC and on-premises network securely. A VPC peering connection in Amazon VPC connects two VPCs to enable instances in one VPC to communicate with instances in the other VPC using private IP addresses, providing a secure and direct connection. How can you control inbound and outbound traffic to instances in a subnet in Amazon VPC? By assigning public IP addresses to instances. By configuring flow logs for the subnet. By using placement groups for instances. By using security groups and network ACLs. You can control inbound and outbound traffic to instances in a subnet in Amazon VPC by using security groups to define allowed inbound and outbound rules, as well as network ACLs to further control traffic based on rules assigned to the subnet. Why would you create a VPC endpoint in Amazon VPC? To provide public-facing web services. To enable private connections to AWS services without using an internet gateway. To manage access control policies. To restrict traffic within the VPC. Creating a VPC endpoint in Amazon VPC allows you to establish private connections to AWS services without needing to route the traffic over the internet, enhancing security and reducing exposure to external threats. What benefits does Amazon VPC Security Group provide for instance-level security? Automatically encrypts all instance data. Encrypts inbound traffic while decrypting outbound traffic. Increases the network speed for all instances. Allows users to define inbound and outbound traffic rules specific to instances. Amazon VPC Security Group allows users to define inbound and outbound traffic rules specific to instances, providing granular control over network traffic and enhancing instance-level security within the VPC environment. What is the main purpose of Amazon VPC Network ACLs? To control which traffic is allowed in and out of a subnet. To connect VPCs in different regions. To provide additional storage options for instances in a VPC. To dynamically adjust network bandwidth based on demand. The main purpose of Amazon VPC Network ACLs is to control which traffic is allowed in and out of a subnet within your VPC, enabling you to define rules for inbound and outbound traffic based on IP addresses, protocols, and ports. What is the purpose of network ACLs in Amazon VPC? To provide access and security controls for instances in a VPC. To connect your VPC to the public internet. To act as a firewall for controlling traffic to and from subnets. To provide dedicated network bandwidth for instances in a VPC. Network ACLs in Amazon VPC act as a firewall for controlling traffic to and from subnets, allowing you to define rules to allow or deny traffic based on IP addresses, protocols, and ports. How does AWS Resource Access Manager facilitate resource sharing in Amazon VPC? By allowing resources to be shared across AWS accounts within the same organization. By automating backups of VPC resources. By managing DNS settings for VPC endpoints. By providing SSL certificates for secure connections in the VPC. AWS Resource Access Manager in Amazon VPC facilitates resource sharing by allowing resources such as subnets, security groups, and route tables to be shared across AWS accounts within the same organization, enabling collaboration and resource access control. What does an Amazon VPC security group act as? A virtual firewall for your instances. A monitoring tool. A VPN endpoint. A load balancer. An Amazon VPC security group acts as a virtual firewall for instances in the VPC, controlling inbound and outbound traffic based on security group rules. What is the purpose of the Amazon VPC Internet Gateway? To prevent internet access to instances within a VPC. To allow instances within a VPC to access the internet. To provide encryption for data in transit between VPCs. To automatically route traffic between multiple VPCs. The Amazon VPC Internet Gateway allows instances within a VPC to access the Internet by providing an entry and exit point for traffic destined for or coming from the Internet, enabling communication with external resources. What is the purpose of a NAT gateway in Amazon VPC? To restrict inbound traffic to instances. To enable instances in a private subnet to access the Internet. To manage database backups. To encrypt data in transit. A NAT gateway in Amazon VPC allows instances in a private subnet to initiate outbound traffic to the Internet while preventing unsolicited inbound traffic from reaching those instances. What does it mean to assign an elastic IP address to an instance in Amazon VPC? To associate a static IP address with the instance. To store backups of network configurations. To increase write throughput. To manage permissions for resources in the VPC. Assigning an elastic IP address to an instance in Amazon VPC means associating a static IP address with the instance, allowing for persistent public IP communication even if the instance is stopped and restarted. What is the maximum number of Internet gateways that can be attached to a single Amazon VPC? 2. 1. Unlimited. 3. Only one Internet gateway can be attached to a single Amazon VPC, providing the ability for instances in the VPC to communicate with the Internet. What is the purpose of a VPN connection in Amazon VPC? To establish secure communication between the VPC and an on-premises network. To store backups of network configurations. To provide access to the Internet for instances. To scale read and write capacity. A VPN connection in Amazon VPC is used to establish a secure communication channel between the VPC and an on-premises network, allowing for secure access to resources within the VPC. What is the purpose of an Amazon VPC endpoint service? To deploy EC2 instances in a VPC. To manage IAM permissions for VPC resources. To store encrypted data in a VPC. To allow private connections from other AWS accounts to resources in a VPC. An Amazon VPC endpoint service allows other AWS accounts to privately connect to resources in a VPC, enabling secure access to specific services without exposing them to the public Internet. What is the role of Amazon VPC peering in connecting VPCs belonging to the same AWS account? To establish direct communication between instances in different VPCs. To simplify resource sharing and cross-VPC connectivity. To increase network speed for data transfers. To encrypt all traffic between subnets. Amazon VPC peering connects VPCs belonging to the same AWS account, allowing seamless communication and resource sharing across VPC boundaries, providing a simplified approach to network connectivity between instances in different VPCs. Why would you use a VPC endpoint for Amazon S3 instead of accessing it over the Internet? To reduce S3 storage costs. To improve reliability of data transfers. To increase network speed for S3 access. To securely access S3 without exposure to the Internet. Using a VPC endpoint for Amazon S3 allows for secure access to S3 without exposure to the Internet, ensuring data transfer between the VPC and S3 is secure and direct. Why would you use Amazon VPC's network interfaces for EC2 instances? To enhance network performance and security for instances. To automatically scale compute resources based on demand. To facilitate data transfer between S3 and EC2 instances. To manage load balancing across instances. Using Amazon VPC's network interfaces allows for enhanced network performance and security for EC2 instances by providing the ability to attach multiple network interfaces to an instance, enabling advanced networking configurations and capabilities for different network traffic streams. What is an elastic network interface in Amazon VPC used for? To manage user access control. To scale read and write capacity. To provide a networking component for an instance. To create encrypted VPN connections. An elastic network interface in Amazon VPC acts as a networking component that can be attached to instances, providing network connectivity and the ability to communicate with other instances and external services in the VPC. What is the benefit of Amazon VPC's DHCP option sets in terms of network management? Increases the storage capacity of S3 buckets. Improves IAM policies for network access control. Automatically provisions EBS volumes for EC2 instances. Allows custom DNS settings and domain join configurations for VPC instances. Amazon VPC's DHCP option sets provide the ability to configure custom domain name system settings, define domain join configurations, and select NTP servers for VPC instances, allowing customization of network settings and improving network management capabilities. What is the purpose of using Amazon VPC endpoints for DynamoDB? To perform real-time analytics on DynamoDB data. To increase the read/write throughput for DynamoDB tables. To automatically back up DynamoDB data to S3. To ensure secure and private connectivity to DynamoDB without going over the internet. Using Amazon VPC endpoints for DynamoDB ensures secure and private connectivity to DynamoDB tables without having to access them over the internet, maintaining data privacy and security. What is the purpose of Amazon VPC route tables? To manage IAM policies for VPC resources. To encrypt data between EC2 instances in different subnets. To define rules for routing network traffic within a VPC. To automatically assign public IP addresses to instances. Amazon VPC route tables are used to define rules for routing network traffic within a VPC, determining how traffic is directed between subnets, internet gateways, virtual private gateways, and other network devices within the VPC. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and, if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.